Hello, everyone. This is Lord Navalis, joined here with,
Lady Novellis.
and here we have Katawa Shoujo. Uh,
Which
I'm
we previewed in our boyfriend girlfriend tag.
yes. We had the beautiful music of Wiosna. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Wiosna. Um, I've been meaning to come back to this game because it's been how many years? Like 4 or 5.
I think you said 5.
It's been about 5 years since I played this game, and I could use the the warm, heartfelt storyline of this.
Uh,
And
Fair warning, it is kind of sad too.
it is, but it's also it touches on things that a lot of people don't really understand, but will try to sympathize with others. It's really cool. It's pretty much learning how to live and cope with certain disabilities and learning how to, I, I guess,
Which
adjust.
Laura's gonna have to deal, because I have disabilities myself.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all more so not physical.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as Laura knows, they're more so mental.
Mm-hmm.
So
It gets tough, but I mean we do get through it pretty well. Actually, it's nothing too bad, you know.
says the one who doesn't answer his phone when I call at 4 a.m. with a purple code panic attack.
I'm sorry. When I sleep dead as a doornail.
He's dead as a doornail.
Yes. So
Once he moves here, I think that'll change.
that'll probably change. So
I will wake you up at 4 a.m. for something, and you're not gonna argue with me on it.
no, no. So prior to this, we tried figuring out a way to record this. Turns out rectangle mode doesn't really work out well with Bandicam, so we have it full screen. Um, and hopefully my voice will pick up better.
Oh, your voice is picking up fine, dear.
Okay, that's good. So there's gonna be a bit of voice acting in all this. I'm voice acting Hiseo. Uh, what
And
would
I'm
you
doing
call?
basically all the chicks.
Basically, yeah, the ones that work. I'm also doing the male voices, so like Nurse, Muto, and Kenji. I need to figure out a
Oh
good
God,
Kenji
Kenji.
voice.
Kenji. Kenji scares me.
Kenji's odd. He's an oddball. So, shall we start?
We shall.
Also, big words. This game has a lot of big words. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The Deticus trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight for teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I supposed to wait out here? Anyways, I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Oh, yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit more of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. Snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind.
Hisao, you came?
A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to 100 times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh, the high school crush and or the elementary, middle school crush that everyone has.
Or the girlfriend you have now.
That's true. But in this case, it's more like a crush that I've had but never, like, expressed my actual feelings for. So here I am
In the
now.
game.
In the game, but also in a sense, real life to a certain extent, except here, Lady Zeron is very similar to a few characters in this game. 3 of them. Well, 2, yeah, 3, 2, 1. 3 ones, and then one storyline is more related to what I kind of deal with. Iwanako.
Anyway.
Yeah, Iwanako, I got the note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. Spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic.
Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it.
Shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Okay. My heart is pounding now as if it was trying to burst out of the chest and claim the girl for itself. Yeah, my heart is a she, apparently. Here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The I hate this word.
Noise.
Cacophonous, whatever. Noise is music to my ears. So okay, big words in certain literature, it's fine, but don't use them too much because you have to require to know the meaning of said word if you want to use it. That's how it was in my high school in English. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as it's supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I can even force a word out if I tried.
You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me.
I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point.
Yes, how?
Reach up to try to massage my throat, but there's only sense spikes of blinding pain along my arms.
Yes, how?
My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror.
Yes, how?
The beating in my heart suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away is the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. I almost said incandescent because, Dark Souls, everybody. Grossly incandescent. And here we go. Here's the little intro FMV of Katawa Shoujo.
Now see, if this actually happened in real life, I think I'd freak.
Same. And I hope it never happens because that's ridiculous to have that. And it is...
Well, I was born with a heart murmur, so it was something that was kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like it was rapid. It was just something like that I grew out of, but still,
Yeah.
I mean...
I think I had something similar. All I know is that at a young age I had what they were called heat seizures, apparently. But I grew out of that, thank God.
Yeah, thank God, or else summers here would be unbearable for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm glad I did grow out of that, so...
I get heat stroke every now and again.
It's so dark in my room. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. And that whole time, I could probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised with one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, foreign, alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything to them. It was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt like as if I was missed. For about a week, and my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had much to talk about, and she visited anyway. We didn't touch on the subject that was between us. That's the only day ever again. The hospital is not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'll be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but he told me to wait and see if the treatments and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not even disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, just did. It was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. I love the
Me
stories.
every day.
That is very true. I do like reading as well, but more as like an avid reader. I'm not really much of a person who wants to sit down and read, unless if I'm in, like, let's say if I go to Barnes and Noble and I have a coffee, or I'm sitting in a cafe, I'll read. I don't know. It's
Speaking of which, you and I need to have a talk about something later.
Of course. That was what my life
You notice
was
when I say later, I'm later.
Later, of course. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from another, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. We could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I don't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness. through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book down aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be kind of a special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside, as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down at the edge of the bed next to mine, and he looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hasao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but smile a little back at him. "I believe you can go home. Your heart's stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quietly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look for myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are all listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken to your parents, and we believe it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hasao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down. The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure the medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled what? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the students live on campus. I think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence. That's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it's really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make the hospital nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and to have a couple. We took a look at a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your conditions usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and, well, it's not the same one. Special school. That's an insult. That is what I wanted to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate.